Happy Halloween, folks. Got a Halloween sound effect for me? Ooh, that could also be a breezy day.
Yes.
Good to be with you on this spirited occasion. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Detroit Pistons going up against the Nets in Brooklyn. And for Brooklyn, they dropped the first matchup against this squad. They'll try to even the series in tonight's game. You know, second-guessing coaches, that's a slippery slope. But let me at least pose the question. Kenny, from what you've seen from AI so far, should he be starting for this team?
Yeah, he has the talent, Ernie. I'm not really sure why he's on the bench. There must be something I'm not seeing because I'm not in practice every day. You know, so he designs his rotations based on it. But based on appearance, that guy should be out there.
Kenny, in college, you played for the legendary Dean Smith. I
Yes.
played for the legendary Dale Brown.
Yes.
And coaches want their players to earn minutes. Ernie, AI's done everything they asked of him and more. Set him loose.
Set him loose.
And right now, with
Release the hounds.
with the tip upcoming, time to send it to Kevin Harlan for the call.
What's going on, man?
Sleeping with the fishes is really getting ridiculous. Most folks are idiots, or they either scared and just like
Starting at power forward, 6 feet 7 inches.
Greetings, everyone. Hope you're all enjoying this. Happy Halloween. It's a special October 31st matchup in the NBA here on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge is joining us from the sideline. Their last meeting was in Detroit, where they were unable to fight off the Pistons.
And I know that's a game they'd like to forget. Sort of a tough day for them all the way around.
You know, sometimes you just have to erase a game from your memory and move on. And I believe they have, and they will recover.
He'll be the Nets off the tip. Oh, Smitty, like you, AI is checked in for Hollis Jefferson. And Detroit, looking at who they've got. Lure and Drummond together down low. Reggie Jackson out there with Wayne Ellington. And it's Robinson in at the 3, a small forward. Now, here is Russell. Last game we saw him score 13. Carroll dishes to Ilgauskas. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Well, Steve, at the same time that the rest of the NBA seems to be going small, the Pistons are building their fortunes around 2 traditional big men, like Drummond and Blake Griffin. Do you like that direction?
Yeah, I do. Andre Drummond, he has tremendous mobility for his size. And Blake Griffin, he's highly skilled. I think it's about the pieces you put around them, guys that can shoot and guys that can play without the basketball in their hands.
He misses the free throw. Pachulia, he's checked in for John Lure. And he's good on the second. Detroit's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Ellington kicks to Jackson. Back to Ellington. 6 to shoot. Outside Jackson. Detroit needs to get off a shot here. No good on the 3. And it's Russell with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Nets. Trailing by 2. That ties the game. Allen's got his first basket.
And you have to like the location of this pass. Gives it to him where he can do something with it.
Well, for Detroit, their last game a loss to the Boston Celtics. Back to Jackson. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Jackson's got 6.
The defense having to respect Jackson's outside game. That opened up things for him in the inside.
Ilgauskas, the pass to Russell. Back to AI. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist.
And you love how Russell keeps his eyes up. Rarely misses a guy when he's free.
Now here's Ellington. He's guarded closely. Jackson has the open look. Fresh 24 for the Pistons. The pass to Pachulia. To the inside. A second chance effort. And that one's good. Drummond.
No, they didn't put enough body on Drummond. He has too much talent for that.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, earlier I spoke with Dwayne Casey. He said they have to do a good job of moving their feet defensively. That's the only way they're going to avoid getting dunked on. He said they also want to turn guys who are slashers into jump shooters. Let's see if that works, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And it's good, 2 points. Russell's got the game tied up here for Brooklyn. And, well, Detroit shooting 56% in this first quarter. An outstanding start for this offense. Here's Jackson. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That's on D'Angelo Russell.
Reggie Jackson, a great season and a half spent in Detroit. Since that time, injuries have slowed him down.
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
A year ago, he had an 84% success rate on his foul shots, so he was a guy they were always happy to see at the line.
First free throw is good. And Jackson dealing with knee tendonitis, Steve. Then last season, a serious ankle sprain.
Grade 3, as bad as it gets. One of the league's most imposing point guards. He's got to be right, though.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Brown, he's checked in for Robinson. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Wayne Ellington. Now, here's Napier. From 10 feet out. Again, the Nets for 2.
And a lot of scoring here early on. This is the type of game the fans love to see.
I love it. Really, both teams running plays that fit the personnel, going back and forth.
Davis against Drummond. Over Davis. They get it back. Pachulia. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
And there's the experience of Pachulia, catching the defender off balance.
The Pistons shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. The free throw drops for Pachulia. Detroit making a switch here. Smith has checked in. And so he hits both. Smitty, when you were playing, the league tinkered with the distance of the three-point line. Given the emphasis on perimeter offense now, should they consider moving it further out?
Kevin, please not. No way. Guys are shooting it 4, 5 feet behind the line already. Now if you move it back, then they're going to move back to half court.
I know.
Keep the line the way it is right now. I like it the way it is right now.
It's enough of a challenge, don't you think?
Yes, it is.
Galloway kicks to Smith. Back to Galloway. Banked in off the glass. And the Pistons lead by 2.
Taking what the defense offers up, Smith with good vision there finds the open man.
Napier with it. Now Smith defending. outside. Davis for three. Harris. That's in there. Davis with the assist. Harris has got himself on the board with three there.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Smith outside. Pachulia kicks to Drummond. Over Ilgauskas. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
He got the space he needed, but just blew the layup. It hurts me to see points lost like that.
Galloway finds Smith. Lobbed up there for Drummond. A flawless finish on the alley-oop.
Oh, and just a soft touch on both ends of that pretty alley.
I got to say, when he threw the pass, I didn't know where it was going. Now, here's Napier. Harris outside. Down low. And AI with the basket on the assist by Harris. That's 7 points for AI.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Here's Drummond. And the rebound paying off as they pick up two on the second chance bucket right there.
Taking a hit, completing the play. Drummond with the excellent body control there.
Napier kicks to Harris. 34 seconds left in the first quarter. And it's Ilgauskas missing. And here's Brown. He'll bring it up for the Pistons. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
And that can happen on the road. You can get a little bit tight, and often it really shows itself at the free throw line.
And as a visiting team, you're already behind the 8 ball. Can't afford to give up opportunities like that.
Now here's Napier. Pass to Ilgauskas. Over Drummond. Ilgauskas. Good. Ilgauskas has got 9 points. Andre Drummond has been on display for Detroit. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. Back to the action after this word. And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far on the scoreboard. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from Detroit?
Hustling on that offensive glass, that's led to a number of second chance points.
A fundamental part of basketball, taking advantage of guys who fail to block out.
AI is out there with Harris. And there's Davis. Then it's Allen Crabb. And it's Napier in at the 1. That's the Nets 5 as we get into the second quarter. Now here's Napier. He kicks it to Crabb. Back to Napier. Takes the 3. And the Nets another 3.
Oh, okay, it's on. Trading blows here from distance.
You know what? Both sides are in rhythm. The defense out there having no effect.
Smith with it. Napier covering. Pass to Brown. Now Drummond. Shot clock at 6. The kick out to Brown. Smith for 3. Not going to go that time. And Brooklyn will come the other way. Harris outside. Ilgauskas, the pass to Harris. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. On the wing, Harris. Back to AI. Good. And Harris gets the assist. Ilgauskas has got the lead up to 1 now for the Nets. We've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
And guys, I think each team knows they can win this game. Just a matter who can catch that momentum.
Now here is Smith. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring hit from him. Elbow shot is on the way. And it's off the back rim. No good.
Unfortunately for him, the defense is slow to react, but he could make them pay.
Here's Ilgauskas. And Pachulia pulls it down. Brooklyn Nets come into this one after a win against the Knicks in New York. Here's Galloway. Offensive rebound. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It goes on Ed Davis.
A 5-star recruit out of high school, Drummond, one of the more talented centers we have in the game.
It's his first trip to the line.
And you know, you'll take what he can give you from the free throw line. Looking at his numbers, just really not one of his strengths. Shooting in the low 60s last season.
Detroit making a switch here. Lure's checked in. Passes it to Davis. Kicks to Ilgauskas. Over Lure. Again, the Nets for two.
The new head coach of Detroit is Dwayne Casey. They're lucky he was available. He guided the Raptors to a franchise best 59 wins last season, and he was the coach of the year.
Here's Galloway. 11 points for him in that last game against Boston. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. It goes on Ed Davis.
Nice by Galloway. Understands the situation. Catches the defender a little out of position.
Pistons have been perfect so far from the free throw line. 6 for 6. Steve, I know in calling your games, you were known to be such a smooth athlete. You were graceful, with great elan on the floor. Who are some of the smoothest players that you watched today?
I think Kevin Durant, his game, it just doesn't seem like you can speed him up. He plays at his pace, which is an unbelievable pace. I look at even a guy who doesn't dribble as much, Klay Thompson does the same routine coming off screen. You can't really speed him up. I love the way Chris Paul is one of those guys. He's graceful and smooth. Those are some of the guys that stick out for me.
Looks effortless, doesn't it?
Yes.
Smith with it. AI picks him up. And Lure kicks to Brown. There's the pass to Drummond. Goes up the baseline. And too long on the shot. Brooklyn's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Let's see what the Brooklyn Nets have coming up. On Friday, they'll be matching up with Chris Paul and the Houston Rockets. And then on Sunday, they'll be facing Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers.
And for that game against the Nuggets, there aren't many other meetings that are as evenly matched as this one. Both teams can give and take punches, and this one, I think, is going to come down to the wire.
That misses, so he splits the free throws.
Andre Drummond, a prototype athlete at the center position. He checks every box. Leaping ability, lateral mobility, you name it.
Now here is Smith. 8 points his last outing. Drops it in from 11 feet. Smith's got his first points of the night.
The defense slow to react that time. Smith makes them pay using his quickness.
Paper kicks to Crab. Good job in the low post. Crab's got the lead up to 3 now for the Nets. And for a man the size of Drummond to move and accelerate, Steve, the way he does, the focus has to be on keeping him healthy.
You know what, Kevin? He's been remarkably durable. Played 81-plus games in 4 out of the last 6 seasons. Last year dropped 30 pounds. He's staying lean and mean.
And he gets it to go. Timeout. Drummond's got 14.
The one thing about Drummond, you can be right up on him. Even try to overplay his strong side, he can still get it done.
Timeout called, the Nets. Andre Drummond in his mid-20s. He's led the league in rebounding 3 consecutive seasons. And Greg, last season was his best one yet.
Really, I think, established himself as the franchise player for the Pistons. They'll go as far as he can take them. At the same.
And we finish one half of basketball. Pistons ahead. They're up by 6. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks. Tight game tonight, Dwayne. How do you break this thing open in the second half?
Well, number one is we got to make sure we get in a defensive disposition. You know, right now we're kind of trading buckets. We're anticipating, putting them on the foul line. So we got to play from an anticipatory style of defense, whereas we're not reacting to where they have us on our heels.
Case, thanks for your time. Back to you.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break. And welcome back to the second half of our Halloween broadcast. Andre Drummond has been sensational.
And through the first two.
AI is checked in for the Nets. Pistons leading by 6. On the floor for Detroit, Lure and Drummond together down low. Wayne Ellington is out there with Reggie Jackson. And it's Robinson in at small forward. Dinwiddie kicks to Allen. Inside. And it's sent back by Drummond.
And you can see it in terms of protecting the rim. Drummond has the ability. He just needs to stay active on a consistent basis.
Outside Robinson. That's tipped. Here's Dinwiddie. Guarded by Jackson. Dinwiddie.
Oh, did you see that?
And I gotta say, sort of surprising he goes for a slam that difficult when they're trailing.
But still a magnificent move to the rim. And that last replay, courtesy of the Under Armour Hover Havoc, unleashing a little bit of chaos.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Dinwiddie passes to Hollis Jefferson. From deep. Yep, it goes. And the Piston lead is cut down now to just 3 on the basket from Dinwiddie.
I mean, defensively, you have to close out harder than that.
Pass to Lure. Back to Ellington. Drummond with it. And Allen picks him up defensively. Jackson from long range. Brooklyn with the rebound.
Just hasn't had it tonight, but his teammates are picking up the slack.
High arcing shot, and that one is off. And Detroit the other way now. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Dishes it to Drummond. Shoots from 12. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. And that's 13 points for Reggie Jackson.
When Jackson can't get all the way to the rim, this is his go-to. Shoots for a decent percentage from mid-range.
And it's time for an injury report. Now for an update on D'Angelo Russell's injury, let's go to David Aldridge.
And the news is pretty good. It does not look like a severe injury. A really discouraging development for this team at such an early point in the season. We'll see how they respond, Kevin.
Thanks for checking in, DA. Injuries are always tough to deal with, but they're just a fact of life in the NBA.
And he'll have a lot of support as he goes through the recovery process. They want him back as soon as possible.
And we know how much better they'll be as a team when he's out of those street clothes and back in uniform.
To the inside. Here's Ilgauskas. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet. Dinwiddie's got his 3rd assist on the night. Jackson kicks to Drummond. Now here's Jackson. D right on him. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
The strength and body control of Reggie Jackson gives him an edge against physical defense, potential and one.
This will be his 3rd free throw shot of the game. And Brooklyn making a change here. Harris has checked in. Smitty, with all the different arenas you've played in and all the cities you've traveled to as a player, which city do you think, looking back, was the hardest to play in for whatever reason?
This is an easy question. Detroit, Michigan, Kevin, because I was raised there and played college basketball. The ticket request going home was definitely hard.
I bet.
Because now you're starting to ask teammates, you're starting to ask everybody for tickets, and I just never had enough.
And it was expensive to buy tickets.
Yes, indeed.
And everyone wanted one.
Everybody. My first game, Kevin, ever back in Detroit, 300 tickets.
Oh.
Glad I had good teammates, though. They helped me.
Outside Jackson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And that one drops.
He's been locked in all quarter, really finding his rhythm.
Nets trail by 8. Dinwiddie passes to Ilgauskas. Carroll kicks to Ilgauskas. Over Lure. That's short off the rim.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Pass to Jackson. And Allen with the block. And Brooklyn turns it over again. And our early season power rankings, of course, a lot should change over the course of the year, but this is where we stand now. Take a look at the Jazz. They're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And I think the Nets, they've started out slow. It's not for a lack of want to. It's just the way the roster is composed. They have as many questions on that roster as they have answers.
Offensive rebound. Lure can't hit.
Ooh, you know that's one he liked to have that. Point blank range, and he missed it.
Dinwiddie with the bucket.
Nice find there from Carroll to keep the ball moving for the score.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
You can see his wheels are turning. We'll see what he draws up here.
It's been an ongoing battle of adjustments, trying to identify your strongest matchup each time down the floor.
For the Pistons, Pachulia. He's checked in for Lure, and it's Brown in for Robinson. Detroit leading by 6. Jackson kicks to Drummond. Now here's Jackson. He's guarded closely. Second chance shot, and he sinks the layup. Pachulia's got 6.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And so it's Harris who will bring it up for the Nets. Passes it to Dinwiddie. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. The Nets have hit half their free throws in this one, going 3 of 6 so far.
Your Nets, Spencer Dinwiddie. Taking 2 shots.
And he makes the first. Both shots good from the stripe. Detroit's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Jackson finds Ellington. Here's Drummond. Here's Jackson. Defended by Allen. No good on the triple.
I mean, you can see it. He's way out of sync. It's been this way all quarter for him.
And it's Allen slamming it down.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think. Jackson with it. 18 points for him. To the paint, and it's Drummond with the jam.
And if you're the defender, you have to respect the ability of Jackson to finish. That opens things up for the assist.
Dinwiddie kicks to Ilgauskas. In the corner, it's Harris. Here's Dinwiddie, guarded by Jackson. And it's Ilgauskas missing.
And barely anyone in the area, and still he whiffs on the bunny.
And Allen with the block. Here's Carroll. He's got 7. Harris misses.
Just great at getting after it defensively, forcing guys into tough shots.
Yeah, to be successful, you've got to protect the paint. He rises to that challenge.
Jackson kicks to Ellington. No good from outside. Nets trailed by 6. It's stolen by Brown. And goaltending is going to be the call. So they get the basket there anyway.
Yeah, that's a tough call for the ref to make there. I'm not sure it was on the way down, but that's how they saw it.
Davis is checked in for Allen. Smith checked in for the Pistons. Brooklyn's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. It's Carroll on the wing. Davis dishes to Carroll. Harris outside. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. But of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
And looking now at the numbers for Smith, some last season stats for him. Averaged about 11 points a game, 4 assists and 2 rebounds. Backup point guard, always an important position, and he fills that role beautifully.
Without a good floor conductor coming off the bench, your offense can quickly grow stagnant. He solves that problem well.
It's fine to extend your defense to try and create turnovers, but guys have to help each other.
That's been a problem for them all game. Teamwork is something you just can't turn on and off.
From the line, and yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. Dinwiddie's got 11 points.
And he's shaking off that slow start, giving them a boost here in the second.
Smith kicks to Jackson. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Here's Harris, and the layup falls. He has 7.
Outstanding pass in transition there for the easy deuce.
Now Smith. Outside Jackson. Releases from 15. The putback, and Drummond is right there. And the Pistons lead by 8.
And they continue to control the glass.
Dinwiddie kicks to Carroll. Here's Ilgauskas. Another one falls for Brooklyn. Detroit leading by 6. And here's Smith. Now the pass to Pachulia. Brown feeling it out a bit. Shot clock at 6. Here's Drummond. It's tipped. Harris against Jackson. Dinwiddie. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
And that is a major league flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
You know what? It's a big momentum builder for sure. That could be a game-changing moment there.
Here's Drummond. Some solid defense from Harris. Nets trailed by 4. This offense has really been clicking.
And they know it, guys. They're playing right now with the kind of energy that is hard to deal with.
Here's Jackson. Ilgauskas trying to get open. Here's Drummond. Second shot opportunity. Rejected by Ilgauskas. Carroll, no one around him. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet. Dinwiddie's got his 4th assist in this one. Detroit's gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. Pachulia kicks to Jackson. There's 1:54 left in the third.
You know, he was looking for revenge, trying to match shots from distance.
Harris passes to Davis, and he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Davis has got his first points in this one.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Smith with it. AI picks him up to the middle. Here's Drummond, and good that time. Drummond's got 22 points.
I like that Drummond has become more in control of his offensive game, and the defense is running out of answers.
Harris outside. Here's Dinwiddie, covered by Smith. And there's the call on Andre Drummond. That's foul number 2 for him. Brooklyn making some changes. Caruge is checked in for Amar'e Carroll. Allen Crabbe comes in for Harris. And it's Napier in for Spencer Dinwiddie. And a switcher also for Detroit. Galloway's checked in. To the paint, here's Davis, and it's Davis finishing it off. As we approach the 4th quarter, still anyone's ballgame.
Yeah, neither team able to create much of a cushion.
And it's Galloway with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Pistons. He kicks it to Smith. Pass to Drummond. Round with it. Shot clock at 5. Here's Galloway. No good there off the double clutch. And out of bounds. The Pistons will take it. Andre Hollis Jefferson, he's checked in for Brooklyn. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Glenn Robinson, the third, is checked in for Brown. The Pistons trailing. No. Platoon swap here for Brooklyn. Detroit also making some changes. Lewis checked in for Drummond. Ellington comes in for Robinson. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Smith. There's Dinwiddie. At the elbow, it's Harris. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet. Dinwiddie's got 5 assists tonight.
And it's been about that execution offensively. I mean, they have been superb.
That's what's extending this lead. The right plays, right time, and good finishing.
We've got Allen. Jamari Carroll is out there with AI. Then there's Harris. And it's Dinwiddie in at the 1 spot. So that's the Nets 5. Jackson finds Pachulia. Now here's Jackson. Not a lot of room. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. He lays it in. Jackson's got 22 points.
I'll tell you, Jackson's first step is dynamite. A big asset off the dribble.
Jackson against Carroll. Here's Ilgauskas. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. 20 points for him.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Pachulia kicks to Jackson. And he gets it to go from the high post. Jackson's got 13 points here in the second half alone. Nets leading by 15. AI outside. Here's Dinwiddie. Misses the 3. And for the Pistons, they're shooting reasonably well, 45%. And the call will be against Harris. That is his first foul of the game. Glenn Robinson, the third, is checked in for the Pistons. From 12 feet out, Pachulia, no luck. Brooklyn's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on 3-point attempts here in the fourth. Carroll kicks to Harris. Ilgauskas in the post. We're covering Ilgauskas. Good.
I tell you what, his accuracy has been the story of this game.
And to do it in the fourth quarter, you're trying to extend the lead. He's making that happen.
Pachulia the pass to Jackson. Detroit, no good that time either.
His lack of consistency with his shot tonight has held them back.
There's the feed to Allen. To the middle. Here's Ilgauskas. And the layup is good. Ilgauskas has got 6 points in the quarter.
You look at that lead pass there. He just has such a great feel for the game.
Pistons trailed by 19. High post, Pachulia. Kicks to Lure. Outside Jackson. Count it. Jackson's got 26.
The aggressiveness of Jackson, able to drive and convert against tight defense.
Terrace outside. Pass to Dinwiddie. In the corner, it's AI. He tries for 3. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet. Dinwiddie's got his 6th assist on the night. The Pistons shooting has been dreadful lately, around 28% here in the fourth. Ellington finds Pachulia. Now here's Jackson. Shoots over Carroll. Dinwiddie with the rebound.
The right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone. Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it, just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Nets.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players. Everything was just on target.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year, actually their 5th win on the year.
And after dropping game 1 in this matchup, they managed to take the second of a 3-game season series. No question, that's a morale booster.
And so many times we see someone step up and take charge. And tonight that happened here. It was a nice performance for AI.
What you like about his approach at the offensive end today, once he got into a rhythm, he stayed focused. That's why the points just kept coming.
So for the Nets, Davis comes in for Allen, and Krebs subbed in for Damari Carroll. Brown is checked in for Detroit. Inside, and AI with the basket on the assist by Harris. And the Nets lead by 20.
And they've earned this one, showing an ability to dominate in front of their home crowd.
You know, you feel on top of the world when it happens as a player, just the relationship you have with the fans.
And so it's Harris who will bring it up for the Nets. They lead by 20. It's the most we've seen. Here's Ilgauskas. Again, the Nets for 2.
And how much longer are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator?
Well, this is less about winning the game now and more about making a bold statement.
And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone.
I need a few ice buckets after that. Elbows, man.
AI.
Yo, what's up, Charlie?
Busy day, man. We need you for an interview right over here.
Okay, all right, guys. Thank you.
Hey, this is Shaq. Hurrah! You've been beasting these last few games, and it's fun to watch. Anything you feel you've done differently to make this impact?
Anything differently? You know, the one difference I can identify, I'm trying to be more aggressive with my touches. When I don't settle to play passive, I know it benefits the whole team. Creates opportunities for others, you know, to make plays. And we know that we have to be aggressive as a group in order to accomplish things that we want this season. And we've just been trying to set the tone with my play.
AI, huh? The A must stand for animal. Rawr!
Thank you, Shaq. You crazy. Here you go. Hey, Veronica, how you doing?
You were cooking out there last night, killer.
Oh, thank you. So, what's going on?
Mom, I'm bearing witness to the rise.
Look, okay, you can mellow a little bit with the trademarks. It's okay.
Look, I know you want to fit in, but you don't have to fall behind. Okay, the vet's like a leader, and you have to get used to trademarks because both Foot Locker and Gatorade called to talk.
About me?
No, about your mom.
Oh, you got Joe's. Okay.
Yeah, of course, about you. They're noticing your story. They're noticing your game. People are starting to look at you, and I am telling you, America loves a comeback.
Wow. So, I mean, who's first?
You tell me, where do you want to start? Great. I'll set it up for later this week.